Hello and welcome to our channel, What Is and How To. Today, we're standing at the edge of something extraordinary, space tourism. Yes, ordinary people, not just astronauts, getting the chance to leave Earth and experience the cosmos firsthand. The question is, what exactly is space tourism, and more importantly, how will it actually work? Well, buckle up because we're about to launch into the future of human travel beyond the atmosphere. 1. The birth of space tourism. Space tourism is the concept of traveling into outer space for recreational purposes rather than scientific or military missions. It's not entirely new. The first space tourist, Dennis Tito, flew to the International Space Station back in 2001, but that required millions of dollars and years of training. What's new today is that companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic are racing to make space travel more accessible, safer, and at least someday affordable. Just like air travel was once only for the wealthy but eventually became mainstream, space tourism is on the same trajectory. Right now, it's in its infancy, but the progress in just the past decade has been stunning. We're moving from the era of science fiction into science fact, and the dream of being a tourist in space is closer than ever before. 2. How will people actually travel to space? The idea of hopping into a spaceship like you board a plane sounds simple, but the process is much more complex. Space tourists will travel aboard specially designed spacecraft, some in rocket capsules like SpaceX's Crew Dragon, others in space planes like Virgin Galactic's VSS Unity. The journey begins with a vertical launch or a carrier aircraft that lifts the spaceplane into the stratosphere before firing its rocket engine. In just a few minutes, passengers will cross the Kármán line, the boundary of space, about 100 kilometers above Earth. At that point, engines cut off, silence falls, and the magic begins. You'll float in microgravity, unbuckle from your seat, and watch Earth curve beneath you through giant windows. After several minutes, the spacecraft re-enters the atmosphere and glides or parachutes back down. The whole trip may only last an hour or two, but the experience, seeing Earth from space, will stay with you forever. 3. The price tag of a ticket to space. Let's be real. Space tourism isn't cheap, at least not yet. Early space flights are costing anywhere from $250,000 to several million dollars per seat. Virgin Galactic's suborbital flights are currently priced at around $450,000, while orbital missions by SpaceX can cost tens of millions. Why so expensive? Because rockets and spacecraft require cutting-edge engineering, fuel, training, and safety systems that push technology to the limit. But here's the interesting part. Remember how air travel started? In the 1920s and 30s, only the ultra-rich could fly. Fast forward a few decades, and millions of people could afford plane tickets. The same is expected for space travel. As technology improves and competition increases, the costs will drop dramatically. In the future, a trip to space could be as common as an overseas vacation. 4. Training and preparation for tourists. You can't just walk into a spaceport, grab a coffee, and board a spaceship. Even as a tourist, preparation is essential. Before the flight, participants undergo physical training, including practicing weightlessness in parabolic flights, learning emergency procedures, and familiarizing themselves with spacecraft operations. This isn't as intense as astronaut training, but it's enough to make sure passengers can handle the G-forces of launch and the disorientation of zero gravity. Training may last from a few days to a few weeks, depending on the mission. Beyond the physical aspect, there's also a strong psychological element. Space can be overwhelming. The silence, the vastness, the sudden perspective of seeing Earth as a tiny blue ball floating in darkness. This is called the overview effect, and it changes people forever. Preparation is as much about mind as it is about body. 5. The space tourism experience. So, what exactly do you get as a space tourist? The highlight is, of course, weightlessness. Imagine unbuckling your seatbelt and floating like an astronaut, doing flips and watching drops of water float around. Then there's the view, seeing Earth's curved horizon, the thin blue atmosphere, and the endless blackness of space. Tourists will also experience the thrill of launch, the eerie silence of orbit, and the fiery re-entry. Some companies even plan luxury accommodations, like space hotels, where tourists could stay in orbit for several days. Picture sipping coffee while watching the sunrise over Earth 16 times in one day. This experience goes beyond thrill, it's transformative. Astronauts describe a profound shift in how they see humanity and the planet, and space tourists will get a taste of that too. 6. The challenges and risks of space tourism. Of course, space tourism isn't all glamour, it comes with serious challenges. Rockets are complex machines, and space travel has inherent risks, from technical malfunctions to the extreme environment of space. Safety is the top priority, and companies are investing billions in testing and redundancy systems to minimize risks. Then there's the issue of health, radiation exposure, motion sickness, and the effects of microgravity on the body. Space tourism also raises environmental concerns, as rocket launches release carbon emissions and soot into the atmosphere. Balancing the excitement of space travel with safety and sustainability will be the key challenge moving forward. After all, if space tourism is to become a long-term reality, it must not only be thrilling, but also responsible. Now, 7. The future of space hotels and colonies. Beyond short flights, the future of space tourism points toward orbital hotels and even lunar vacations. Companies like Orbital Assembly are already working on designs for rotating space stations that simulate gravity and offer luxury suites. Imagine booking a room in space with views of Earth outside your window. In the longer term, some visionaries are even talking about lunar bases where tourists could visit the moon, or Mars colonies as extreme vacations of the future. While this sounds like science fiction, so did smartphones a few decades ago. As technology improves and demand grows, we could very well see space resorts becoming a reality within our lifetimes. 8. Why space tourism matters. At first glance, space tourism might look like a playground for the rich, but its impact runs much deeper. Every new industry starts small and exclusive before becoming widespread. Space tourism is pushing technology forward, making rockets reusable, spacecraft safer, and science more advanced. These innovations will trickle down to benefit everyone, from better transportation systems to cleaner energy. More importantly, space tourism inspires. Just as the Apollo missions inspired generations to pursue science and engineering, the sight of ordinary people going to space could ignite a new wave of dreamers, innovators, and explorers. And that's space tourism. What it is, how it works, and why it matters. From thrilling rocket rides to futuristic space hotels, this industry is shaping up to be one of the boldest frontiers humanity has ever attempted. But now I want to ask you, if you had the chance, would you buy a ticket to space, even for just a few minutes of weightlessness and the view of Earth from above? Or would you wait until it becomes safer and more affordable? Drop your answer in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and join us again here on What Is and How To for more explorations into the future of our world.